Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Marlene Coyar.
And I'm Gavin Courtney.
And thank you for joining us this morning.
It is a beautiful Thursday morning, almost the weekend.
That's right. Getting closer, getting closer. Looks a bit bleaky. We know Grace is, of course, making its approach towards the Yucatan Peninsula. It is heading north, and thankfully our Met Service reassured everyone yesterday that there's no indication that it's going to come any further south and impact Belize, other than rains, of course.
Yes, we are indeed in that time of year when we are probably going to be getting regular updates on storms, as we do not expect anything different this year. The past few years, we've had very active storm seasons. We are getting into the thick of the hurricane season, and well, this seems to be just one of the first big ones. And of course, we'll keep you updated as that storm develops, and we'll keep tracking its path. And in the meantime, of course, wish everyone who's being affected the very best.
Yeah, you know, even as a tropical storm, when it passed over the Caribbean, it brought a lot of rains that caused some bad flooding. And in fact, one of the advisories, I think, as the storm makes its passage, is that there is the potential for flooding, especially in low-lying areas in the north. So that is something to be considered as we move forward. There's no rains here yet in Belize City. I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods, but we are expecting that as Grace comes closer to our neck of the woods.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, we'll get into our weather in a bit more detail in a few, but there is still a lot going on. And one of the big news items which people have been talking about is, the return of cruise tourism to Belize.
Yes.
And of course, this we started a few weeks ago, and we are very happy to report that Norwegian Cruise Lines has now returned.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when the first Carnival cruise arrived in Belize City, we spoke with some tour guides in the south as well, and they were anticipating their first arrival date. Of course, we know cruise tourism came to a halt in 2020, and so a lot of people who are reliant on the cruise tourism as their main source of income have been looking forward to the return of passengers.
Absolutely. So it is going to definitely be a relief for some people. And I think that the return of this industry is certainly encouraged with all of the other concerns. Of course, COVID-19 is an ever-present, I don't know what we should say. I was going to say worry, but it seems to be so much more because we know, of course, all of the concerns related to that, especially as the Delta variant has been confirmed in Belize, and the international situation is still being monitored, as we know that variants are still continuing to proliferate. And this is, of course, a timely reminder of all that we need to do. But of course, we want to wish everybody who is returning to work due to the return of tourism very well, and we hope that the transition back into life as normal goes smoothly. Yeah,
absolutely. And in COVID-related news, of course, the arrival of the Pfizer vaccine yesterday was a big development. We closed off our show yesterday showing you those vaccines as they arrived at the Philip Bolson International Airport. This is the first batch that we have received so far by donation from the United States, and it is earmarked for our children, 12 to 18.
Yes, exactly. And as you know, Pfizer is one of the few vaccines that is is considered safe for persons under the age of 18 to try. It has been tested, and it's proven that that it has a level of effectiveness on younger persons. And so this is certainly very encouraging, especially in the context of all that has been going on recently, both concerning the rise of cases in Belize, as well as the recent announcement by the Ministry of Education that classes would not, face-to-face learning would not be allowed for the opening of the the next school year. And so the fact that donations are going to be available for persons 12 and over is a really encouraging sign for progress.
Yeah, and I do think, of course, that there's probably, the Ministry of Education has a press conference today. I'm sure they'll be providing some more details about school as well. But the ultimate point here is that with children protected, it does make for that particular age group, maybe within the next 2 months to 3 months, fully vaccinated so that they can resume to face-to-face classes, which is something that I know a lot of parents are looking forward to. That age demographic of 12 to 17 would cover definitely secondary school, maybe upper primary, some standard 5, standard 6, and then tertiary level institutions as well. These are all students within that age range. And the Pfizer vaccine has been approved and has already been administered to children in other parts of the world. I understand that that there will be questions from parents about effectiveness, about safety, and those are questions, of course, that the Ministry of Health and other health professionals will aim to answer. And there's a lot of information online too that you can be able to access. Of course, we encourage you to get it from relevant sources if you are uncertain about whether or not you want your child to get vaccinated. But it's going to be interesting to see the uptake of vaccinations.
Absolutely, and it's also encouraging to report that we have reached, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has released its latest figures of its vaccination. And it's very encouraging to report that we've gotten at least 150 persons who have received at least their first dose, as well as just around 70,000 people who are completely vaccinated, having received both doses. And that's very great, encouraging, and we see, and like now that there's going to be the opportunity for persons over 12, I'm expecting that number will also increase. I was just reviewing prior to the show. I saw some data. Let me get this right. From the CCBY, which is a Caribbean data agency, that's reporting that as of August 16th, Belize is third in the Caribbean for its vaccination rates, and just behind Antigua and Barbuda and St. Kitts and Nevis, both smaller islands, smaller populations, but of course the vaccination drive has been very successful, and I think that's very great that Belize is number 3, but we want to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have been focusing on the area of greater concern, which is the growing numbers of persons who are being confirmed with COVID-19, and unfortunately, the increase in deaths of recent as well. But it is also a good time to be able to acknowledge that there's been a growing number of persons getting vaccinated. And while we know that there's still a lot of voices within our community who have their own thoughts and opinions on vaccination, what we are seeing in the numbers is that people are going out to get vaccinated. There we have that report from Tuesday, and you're looking at over 1,000 people. Sometimes we're seeing the weekly report coming out and it's over 5,000 persons being vaccinated. So we are inching closer to having the majority of our people vaccinated for COVID-19. The Pfizer vaccine now allows us to include that age group of 12 to 18 into our demographics, and hopefully those vaccinations will be used up as quickly as possible. And the good thing with the Pfizer is that for children who get vaccinated early, they'll probably be fully vaccinated before those first dose people, because AstraZeneca has a longer wait of 8 weeks versus Pfizer, which has a 2-week wait in between first and second dose.
Yes, absolutely. So once that it becomes fully available, we hope that you all go out there. I think that it's never, it's always a good reminder to note how lucky we are that we do have enough vaccines for our population, and indications are that we definitely that we have enough to fully vaccinate our population, which isn't the case in several other countries. And we've seen that even in some of our neighboring countries, both in Latin America and in the Caribbean, the vaccine rollout has been a lot slower. People haven't been able to access. There's still, right now, it's important to note that just in case you weren't aware that all phases are open. Once you are over the age of 18, you're able to go and get any dose of AstraZeneca or Sinopharm vaccine at any of the vaccination sites. And if you need that, and if you need more information about that, you can always contact the Ministry of Health and Wellness. They have also been going on a tour, vaccinating persons all around the country. So the vaccine is here. The ministry is trying to make it as accessible as possible. So if you are on the fence, if you want more information, please contact them. And if you want the vaccination, go out and learn where is the nearest place that you can get it.
And I know that yesterday the Minister of Health said something important that people should be mindful of, which is that they are aware that there are some from the adult population who've been waiting for the Pfizer vaccine. At this time, the vaccine is not going to be used for the adult population, so you'll still have to access the AstraZeneca or the Sinopharm vaccine. The Pfizer is going to be exclusively for children. But we are anticipating the arrival of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine very soon. In fact, by the end of this month, they should be in country. And that's going to be, that's a one-shot dose, which will make it a lot easier once those are administered. And you have waited the requisite 2 weeks before the requisite 2 weeks, then you are going to be fully vaccinated in an even shorter time.
Yes, and so you can pick, choose, and refuse at a certain point in time, and again, that's a privilege.
I've never asked that question about how it works. Like, if you go to the clinic, if you're going to ask, well, I prefer this vaccine or that vaccine.
That's true. I've never I never considered either.
Yeah. Well, when we went, there was only the AstraZeneca, so that's what we got, and I think just the point of it is that we are looking at access to vaccines, which is something that we can be grateful for. And we've gotten quite a lot of support in addition to investing in the COVAX facility to ensure that we've gotten enough vaccinations. And the sooner we can be sure to have people vaccinated, then it doesn't remove the threat of COVID-19, but it does remove the threat of severe hospitalization and potentially death from this disease.
Absolutely, and it also reduces your chances of contracting the disease as well as spreading it. As we know that with the confirmation of certain variants, and we know Delta is significantly more contagious than the other strains, hence why it has been just exploding all over the world. And so remember that as long as you do remain unvaccinated, you remain at a much, much greater risk of contracting, but also spreading it to others. So even if it is that you do get a mild case or an asymptomatic case, do think that you could potentially be spreading it to somebody who may have several underlying health conditions. It could be spreading it to families, to even your own loved ones. So getting vaccinated is, of course, the best choice to keep yourself and others safe.
Absolutely. So those are some of the stories. As we said, the Ministry of Education should be having a press conference. They'll be providing further updates on the resumption of classes, which we know will be distance learning, and that will be, online for some classes, packets, physical packets for others, and it just depends on what the school and the parents have decided. But school starts next week for children, and some have already started. The tertiary level have already started. So you can get that information and more in our 6 p.m. newscast tonight. All right, we're going to get moving into our show for today and get you started with some motivation. And that means it's time for Eye Opener. And our eye opener, taken from dailyom.com, goes like this. Your best is always good enough because it comes from you, and you are always good enough. We often come into contact with the idea that our best isn't good enough, as if this were actually possible. If you examine this notion, you will begin to see that it doesn't make much sense. You may not be able to deliver someone else's idea of the best, but the good news is that's not your burden. You only need to fulfill your own potential. And as long as you remain true to that calling and always do your best to fulfill your purpose, you don't need to expect anything more from yourself. Letting go of the tendency to hold ourselves up to other people's standards and letting go of the belief that we need to compete and win doesn't mean we don't believe in doing the best job we can. We always strive to do our best because when we do, we create a life free of regret, knowing we have performed to the best of our ability. This allows us to feel great personal satisfaction in all of our efforts, regardless of how others perceive the outcome.
I think that's a great eye-opener, and it's something that I also believe, and it's something that's really hard to learn because especially when you're starting something new, or if you are doing something perhaps at work or something else which is sort of competitive, or you have to be around other people, the natural tendency is, of course, to compare yourself to others, and you might think, oh, well, this person is doing this, or how can they do that so well and I can't do that? And so you start to judge yourself or compare yourself to others, and it can really have a negative effect on how you view yourself and on your self-esteem in a whole. But it's important to remember that you have special and unique talents. You all bring something that just only you can bring to the table. And so if you are aware of your talents and you are aware of what your best is, you can define that. And as long as you satisfy yourself that you've done the best, then what other people do, what other people think, what other people say, it won't matter.
Yeah, you got to keep reminding yourself of it. You know, I'm lucky. I went to primary school where this was a message that was, you know, kind of drilled into our head. I remember my principal used to say, once you've done your best, not even the angels can do better. And you hear these things as children, and you say to yourself, yeah. And then as you move into adulthood, you start to understand this is why they used to give you these messages. And that type of messaging is important because you do come to realize that there are different types of expectations. There are the expectations you place on yourself, and there are the external expectations that people often place on you. And you can't be able to please everybody. You know your own capacity, you know your own time, you know what you have on your plate. And so you have to be able to know that if you've put the maximum effort into what you know you can do, then you can be satisfied with that because you know you've absolutely done the best you can.
For sure, and it's interesting because as you mentioned primary school, I started thinking about usually that's probably where we start to learn that comparison sort of behavior because you know you might be in a class with 20 or 30 people and then you see somebody does better on a test or something, but at the end of the day that person may be good at math, you may be good at English, or you may be good at sports, and so it's important to just learn and trust your own abilities and be the best you can be.
All right. And so that is our eye-opener for this morning. Now it's time to get an update from the National Met Service. We have forecaster Angelia Guy on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
Not too bad. Of course, Angelia, we are looking forward to the latest update on Grace. Tell us, where is it at this time?
Okay, Grace has made landfall over the Yucatan Peninsula area this morning.
All right, and what types of effects are we seeing across the country? Is there we're not seeing rain in Belize City at this time.
Yeah, since last night and this morning, the feeder bands from Grace have been mostly over the sea. So mainly beyond the reef is getting showers and thunderstorm activity at this time.
And so what does that mean for weather for today?
Okay, we expect shower activity to increase over the mainland during this afternoon. So we expect a few showers and thunderstorms around the country starting this afternoon and increasing this evening.
All right. And are there any warnings or advisories that we have to be mindful of during the course of today?
Okay, for our country, we have a small craft warning in effect for our waters for large dangerous waves from the effects of grace, and so small crafts should remain in safe harbor. We also have a flood watch that residents should be on the alert for the possibility of flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas over the next few days, since we do expect that increase in rain.
All right. What about our winds?
Okay, winds this morning will be from the south and southwest at 5 to 10 knots, and then shifting to blow from the east and southeast this afternoon and tonight at 10 to 20 knots.
And our temperatures for today?
High temperatures today will reach about 87 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, about 96 inland, and 81 in the hills.
All right. And tonight?
Tonight, low temperatures are expected to continue on the warm side, as we expect it to be cloudy, so expect low temperatures to reach about 81 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 74 inland, and 68 in the hills.
Now, what does the end of the week look like and the weekend?
Okay, we expect rainy conditions through the next few days over the country, especially increasing in like the afternoon, evening and nighttime.
All right. And is that for Saturday and Sunday?
On Saturday, we expect a decrease in activity, and then on Sunday, there should be a tropical wave coming across. I expect another increase on Sunday, Monday.
Okay. All right. And lastly, Angelia, is there anything else that we need to be monitoring?
Not at this time.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that update.
You're welcome.
You have a great day.
Thank you.
And there you have it. So we might be getting a little bit of rain later. And as you heard it, if you are living in a flood-prone area or a low-lying area, do be vigilant as the situation may change. And of course, make sure to keep monitoring if any announcements are made and you need to make a quick move.
That's right.
Yep. But we got to get into our show today because we've got a lot of interesting conversations lined up. Our first conversation is going to be about the Organization of American States, and we are going to be getting an update on the OAS and their work in Belize.
All right. And the second part of the show, if you are a young person and you've always wanted to have the opportunity to state your opinion on how the country is being managed, this is the opportunity for you. There is an open application period for the National Children's Parliament, which will be held a bit later on this year. And so we're going to have some of the past participants and the organizer from the National Committee for Families and Children telling us all about the event and how you can apply.
And for our final conversation, we are going to be hearing from the Super Furia band, and they are going to be premiering a new music video. So you definitely don't want to miss that. And that's going to be our third and final segment for this morning.
All right. It's called Gimme the Broke Down.
Yeah, I know, right?
Already guess, sound like something to dance to.
Yep, and it's, you know, September is coming, so
that's right.
It seems like a good one for that. So we're gonna see that later on this morning. But with that, we do have to take a quick break. But before we do, we have a birthday shout out. So we are saying happy birthday to
Shadeen West. Shadeen, we hope you have a great day today. That greeting comes from all of us here at Channel 5 and Open Your Eyes. Shandice, I'm sorry, Shandice.
Yes. So Shandice, we hope that you have a very happy birthday. We wish you many, many, many more. So all of us at Open Your Eyes are wishing you a great day. But of course, we do have to take a break, and so we'll be right back in a few, so stay tuned.
Imagine going through your entire day without the burden and risk of carrying cash on you. Belize's shift to digital wallets has begun with eCash. We can now skip the cash when collecting money or paying for our essentials, all while using a fast, easy, and secure platform. Simply add funds to your wallet via bank transfer or at an agent, and you're good to go. You will be able to make quick, easy payments simply by scanning QR codes. And best of all, it all happens just like that. Payments are as easy as clicking a link online or scanning a QR code. Download the eCash app from the Google Play and Apple App Store today and take your first step into a cashless lifestyle. The future is here with eCash. For more information, visit www.e-cash.com or contact us via WhatsApp at 613-0257 to find out more.
It's a fact that with Smart, you get truly unlimited everything. Only with Smart, you get unlimited data anytime, while with the other guy, it's only double data on weekends. With unlimited data every day with Smart, there's no need to wait. So, it's a fact that our unlimited plans beat the competition. Stop being measured and told when to use your data and get unlimited talk, text, and data. Experience the true unlimited plans with Smart. That's a fact. Make the switch and live smart.
Introducing Edam A cheese, the A+ Dutch cheese to hit the Belizean market. As the name says, it is of A-class quality, the best Dutch cheese in Belize. Edam A cheese is creamier, less salty, and simply more delicious. Don't be left out. Get your A cheese at a supermarket near you. A cheese, exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited. Call us at 610-3626 or 610-8910. Follow us on Facebook at Unitex Belize.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
Today's COVID update is brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
And we're back, and we're moving into our first conversation for this morning, where we are joined by the OAS representative in Belize, Luis Coimbra. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's wonderful to have you here, and of course, it's the first time we get to have a discussion with you. So welcome to Belize, first of all.
Thank you very much.
All right. Almost a year late, right?
Yes, almost a year here during pandemic times, a very special time.
Yes, yes.
I may say. First of all, I have to say thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to be here. I'm part of your audience, and I have to say thank you to you for the information you provide to me. You make my work easier.
We've helped you with your Belize education. So, Luis, before we talk about your role here as the representative for the OAS, let's dive a bit into some of the other areas that you have served before and what it was like to be asked to serve here.
Look, Belize is easy to me because I feel like I'm home. As a Brazilian, I have to say that this is like my country. You know, people is very cordial. I mean, that's easy to start talking the streets with everybody, and there is no problems in adaptation for me. I feel really, really happy to be here. Of course, my transition from international employee working for the OAS and suddenly be sitting in a desk as trying to be an international diplomat or an international organization diplomat is a different task.
Yeah.
However, it's been easy. It's been an easy task in a sense that not only I was a witness for the transition to the new government, and I have the ears of the government. I mean, this is a government that pays attention to international standards. Yeah. I'm talking about health. I mean, I was listening to you this morning regarding the pandemic and the measures that you have to take against the pandemic. This is good sense. This is good ideas. And to be able to listen to these international standards in health, in peace process, democratic process, human rights is very important. And that's why I say that it makes my work easier when you are in a country where some international standards are being followed.
Absolutely.
And well, how do you see, you know, on a personal level, how do you see your role in now that you are working in Belize and what you want to accomplish?
First of all, we try to be facilitators. You know, we don't have a solution. The OAS is more of a political organization. Of course, the OAS is more than just a general secretariat. Yes. We have also a Pan-American Health Organization as part of the Inter-American System, Organization for American States. I mean, you have the Inter-American Institute for Agriculture. The OAS is much more than just a general secretariat. But as a representative of the general secretariat, I think that one of our main tasks is to coordinate this multilateral facilitation service that we can provide to the countries. I mean, we can provide help, we can provide standards, we can provide facilitation in many issues, including scholarships, including human rights issues, including several of these international mandates that the countries approved at the OAS and at the United Nations. And those are the kind of mandates and standards that will try to facilitate the government and the country of Belize.
Yeah. Now, very often, and I'm sure you've perhaps encountered it in the past few months, the role of the OAS office in Belize is very much in the public amalgamated with the role of the OAS at the Belize-Guatemala border. How do you approach that when you're asked about, well, what is the OAS doing at the Belize-Guatemala border, or the continuous confidence-building measures taking place there?
Look, we are following a mandate and a decision of the OAS Secretary General to be facilitator in the border. We don't have instructions to anybody. In fact, we pay attention, very much attention, to the ministry, Karim Musa, to Minister of defense too, in order to see how we can contribute to the peace. I have an experience as an international employee of working in countries where they had civil wars. Even in Guatemala, long time of civil wars, the work of demining, removal of flint mines. The West did a lot of work in Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. I mean, we are used to problematic issues in Central America. However, the border is more of a peace mission. Is in fact a peace mission. This is not only only a political issue. We see it as a social issue too. We have families that are divided. They are in both sides of the border, and to them the border makes no sense. The border has no significance. To be able to visit their parents, sometimes a person has to cross the border. And sometimes, nowadays, she or he will have to cross the border undocumented or illegally. That's a horrible word to say. They are not criminals. They are families trying to be united in a very difficult times. Of course, this generates a lot of issues. You have issues, and sometimes things escalate, and escalate too much. And this is a problem for Belize, as is a problem for Guatemala. However, our role as the OAS, it tries to de-escalate, to make things more peaceful, to understand the reasons, and to communicate to the government of Belize and the government of Guatemala what's happening. We are going to we visit each time we receive a request from a country. We visit the area. We have to talk with the persons that are being accused or not accused of crossing illegally, of being in a country where they don't belong, or at least officially they don't belong. Then this is a very tough task. The OAS Secretary General Almagro sent here a special representative, and he's a seasoned ambassador. He used to be Ambassador Espinosa. He's an Uruguayan ambassador. He used to be ambassador to Brazil, an Uruguayan ambassador to Brazil. I mean that's a very seasoned ambassador, and he's living in the bank. He's living in Benque. I mean, the OAS is doing. We are doing our best to have the best people here in order to develop this idea of peace, and develop this idea that the adjacent border is not a space for disputes, but a space for integration, social integration, cultural integration, and waiting for the decision from the court, from the courts regarding the border.
And how is it that you approach your work in facilitating things? Is it work very? You had mentioned working with Minister Musa, and through what is the process like working along with the government to achieve your mission?
Usually, Minister Musa or Minister Marin, or even the Prime Minister Johnny Briceño, as soon as they have any information of an illegal trespassing or something like that, they send a request to the OAS. This request is sent to the adjacency zone office, to our office at the adjacency zone, and we have to go for verifications. Can you imagine verification in a place? Sometimes you have to walk one day through the forest in order to find where they are and to be able to talk with them. This is not an easy task. This is a task. We even lost one colleague in here. COVID killed one of our colleagues. I mean, this is a very difficult task in a moment that we have the border closed. That's difficult. Sometimes you have to go around Guatemala in order to come back to Belize in a different place in the south. I mean, roads are not really helping in many places. We don't have roads, and as I said, we have to walk through the forest. I mean, this is a difficult task, a very specialized task, and of course we are learning on the fly, if I may say. We are learning with the process, and we are trying to adapt to the needs of both countries, of both governments, in order to really fulfill our role as peace pacificators, if I may say, or as peace promoters in the area.
Now, you know, when you mentioned earlier that a part of the reality of what happens very often along the border is that the families that may encroach into Belizean territory are very often poor, and you go through your verification process. Does not there's a mixed level of emotions, ranging from sympathy to anger from the public in the idea of Guatemalans taking up space within Belizean territory. What's your perspective on that?
Of course, we have many times of people trespassing. We are not just talking about families. We're also talking about organized crime. This is a big issue in Central America. We are happy that in Belize it's a little more controlled and have less homicides, rate of homicides than any other country, many other of our neighbors in Central America. I mean, but this is a big issue. I had the opportunity to go in the south to Toledo 1 week ago and spend some time over there, and I noticed that in some of the indigenous areas, we are probably having some trespassing from organized crime. I imagine that this is happening everywhere in the border. I mean, they use the opportunity. They are ready to use the opportunity for more profits. And this is something that the governments will have to impose the law to see who is there. If this is related to organized crime, we have laws in here in Belize. They have laws in Guatemala too. And let's try to deny them opportunity to make profit. Let's try to deny them opportunity to come to this country and bring all the problems that they bring to any country. I mean, I'm talking about violence, homicides, smuggling, and all other crimes that they can commit. You know?
And is that something that is also part of sort of OAS help in sort of just monitoring, or at least if there's information that suggests that perhaps there's crime or you know, movement through or across the borders, perhaps help working alongside with the government to either provide information or verify? Is that also something that is part of your mission?
Yes, it is part of the mission of the adjacent zone people. They are there, they are in the bank, they are in some in San Ignacio, they are every day traveling around the adjacent zone. Yes, they have been doing verifications every day. They have been not just verifications, they have been bringing police from Guatemala and police from Belize to meet and discuss and see how they can act better in defending their countries. I mean, not just police, but also military people. They meet from both countries meeting. I mean, this is one of our roles, to be sure that dialogue is happening. And in fact, it is happening. And I understand that in the short future, we are going to have a meeting between foreign ministers of Guatemala and Belize, and probably prime ministers. And I hope this is going to go on with our Secretary General Almagro. I don't know if they have already a date scheduled, but we are planning for a high-level meeting in order to have conversations that can facilitate the work of the people that's in the adjacent zone, working to bring peace to these families, to these communities, and to Belize and Guatemala.
Yeah. When you talk about the verification process, it oftentimes feels a bit slow. Tell us why.
Marlene, please understand, we lost one colleague. He died. We had to stop. This is a very dangerous moment. Everybody has to be vaccinated, using masks. They are going to go to places where now in the south we have some increase in contagious. I mean, virus is everywhere, and the virus is not resting. We had to stop in order to start again. As soon as Ambassador, I mentioned him already, as soon as Ambassador Espinosa arrived, per instructions of the Secretary General, he started again with the verifications, and we are getting there. We are getting there. We are going to 2 verifications a week, from 0 to 2 verifications a week. That's not an easy task at all, but we are doing our best. Yes, we are improving in speed, if I may say so. I mean, more verifications in order to be sure that we cover all the areas of the adjacent zone.
I'm sorry to hear you lost a colleague. Yeah.
It was very sad to us. Thank you.
And from your view, do you think that the status of the relationship, let's say, between Belize and Guatemala as facilitated through OAS is in a good place to have that dialogue and to work together to solve a lot of these issues which are affecting both countries?
Look at this. If If Foreign Minister Curtin is talking with the Guatemalans, they are talking. That's the best thing that can happen, dialogue. There is no democracy without dialogue. There is no peace without dialogue. When the army is talking, when the police is talking, when we are going to verifications and talking with the community, oh, this is the best thing we can do. The best thing is dialogue in this process. There is no thing that can be more successful for peace than to start when we are talking. We can find solutions and not to face each other, not to go against each other. Yes, I think that we are now in a position to say that Belize and Guatemala are talking, they have dialogue, and this is progress. This is a good progress for the establishment of peace.
Yeah. As you mentioned earlier, the case is at the ICJ, and that does, of course, it will take a period of time, but it does complicate matters in terms of perceptions on both sides of the border and may escalate kind of the tensions that were waning for a while. Is there any preemptive plan on how to ensure that things can stay peaceful?
You said escalate. Plan, de-escalate, train police, train military people here and in Guatemala. Practice dialogue, bring them together as it is happening. I mean, the last month we had at least 4 meetings between police and army, Guatemalans and Belizeans. I mean, this is something. This is a process. We don't have a final. We don't have a solution, but we are sure that the process of gaining peace is a process that has to go through dialogue. Has to go through dialogue. We are two peaceful countries. Belize is a peaceful country, and there is no other solution for that. And I understand perceptions. I understand that people think, "Oh no, what a problem! They are trying to take Belize or something like that." No, this is something that we can explain. I think the community, the Belizean community, should be sure that any decision from the court will be based in judges, well-seasoned judges, that will decide based in international law. You know, that's not something that you come up with an idea like a crazy idea of changing countries or changing names of countries. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. We have to be sure that the decision of the court is going to be a decision that will bring to Belize and to Guatemala stability. And that's the most important thing. There's no doubt that this is Belize, this is Guatemala, and let's go and build our countries. Because we are both communities that need each other. Both countries, they need each other. I mean, all Central America has to be together, has to be coordinated. And then we come to another issue, is that when I first said that I moved in here without being in Belize before the starting, I told you that. And it was my first trip to Belize was to move to Belize. That's not that I don't know about Belize. Not only because I did some work at the OAS regarding Belizean issues. I mean, the Crime Observatory in Belize is something that I helped to set up from Washington, D.C. a long time ago. But also, the Assistant Secretary General of the OAS, Ambassador Nestor Mendes, is a Belizean own. He loves Belize, his country. It's his country. And I had the opportunity to talk with him many times about Belizean issues. And I know a little bit about this country. I know enough to say that you are very cordial people. You are going for peace. In any solution, it's going to be a peaceful solution. I mean, and I know more than that. I know that Belize is a unique country in Central America, not because of language, not because of culture, but because it's a country that respects the environment. Oh, if you see pictures from the satellite and you see the border between Belize and Guatemala, you can say, this is Belize, this is Guatemala, this I have the environment preserved. Things like that, culture. I mean, the extraordinary mix of cultures that you have in here, it's an example for the world. How you can have a country with 5, 6, 7 different languages living in peace together. This is an example for my country, Brazil. This is an example for any other country in the world, not just in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, you have to be proud of your country. That's something that the Belizeans needs to know. You are very special, very special in the world. And nowadays, even more special.
You know, you could keep on going. We love hearing good things about Belize. But, you know, and you touched on a few things there. And very often, you know, in speaking with representatives of the OAS, we speak only of the work that you're doing with Belize and Guatemala relations. But let's talk about some of the other areas. And knowing or doing your research and moving to Belize, what were some of your priorities that you were hoping to investigate and see whether there was room for further collaboration?
Look, scholarships, I think is important. Education can change lives. Everybody says that.
Yeah.
But you have to promote this. You have to be very active. I'm happy that since I'm in here, the OAS signed contracts for scholarships for 160 Belizeans, less than 1 year. 106. I mean, I'm sorry, 160 Belizeans. This is a process that we are very careful to promote and to publicize. We have a Facebook web page, a Facebook page where we publicize every day new opportunities for the scholarships. I mean, not only scholarships to have Belizeans with better professional skills, but also Belizeans that will be able to come back to the country and help the country. I mean, help with their brains, help the development of Belize. That's not a scholarship that you go to the United States and stay there. That's a scholarship that you have to come back here, that you have to bring, after 2 years at least, you have to come back in here and contribute to your country. This is one important area. I mean, the whole area of human development, the tourism. I mean, the OAS has been pushing for some activities in training people. I did receive the other day in my office, I did receive a person that's responsible for hurricane alerts in the north, in the Orange Walk, in the north of the country. And that's nice. And he told me that he was trained by the OAS. I mean, he received specific training from alerts from natural disasters from the OAS. I mean, this is one specific area that I think that the OAS can contribute to Belize. But in order to be facilitators, we have to learn to listen and to see how are the needs of the country nowadays. And that's not just the government that tells us what are the needs. The communities. Belize has an extraordinary, well-developed civil society. I mean, the case of a senator for an NGO is a unique case. I don't know any other country that has a senator appointed by the NGOs. I mean, a senator appointed by the churches, a senator appointed by the communities. This is very important, and this makes us our work easier because we can listen to the leaders, to community leaders, to indigenous community leaders. I told you that I went to Toledo to visit the Maya Mopan and Kikcha aldeias. Today, 10 a.m., let me plug this
10
in.
p.m.
10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
10 a.m. today, we are going to have a conversation with Governor General Froila Salam. Tell me something. In what other country in the world you have a head of state who is an indigenous community leader? We now have in Canada. I think Canada checked Belize, learned about Belize immediately nominated an indigenous leader. I mean, this is something that makes, as I said, my work easier because I can listen to the community. They can express, not just the government. Oh, thank you very much for plugging in the conversation today. I mean, the Governor General is an interesting figure, a commanding figure, and that's something that can make every Belizean proud too.
So what's the focus of the discussion today?
Indigenous education. Indigenous education. I can talk about my own experience. I'm a sociologist, and I had no knowledge about indigenous Central American culture in my many years of study. I studied in Brazil, and I had to go to the United States to meet a Mexican from south of Mexico, Zapotec Mexican, to learn how important it is, the culture that was developed in this region, the millennial culture that was developed in this region. And as a descendant of these people, Dam Froila as a descendant of this culture, Dame Froila represents. But she also went through a very difficult, I imagine, very difficult times as a little girl studying, because this is the kind of experience that most indigenous peoples have when they go to school. And I'm talking not about Belize, can talk about Brazil, I can talk about Canada, where the indigenous people also have a lot of challenges in education. Dame Froila is going to talk about her experience. I hope in a very informal way, talk about her experience as an indigenous girl that had to study and now is the Governor General. An example for every Belizean, an example for every young girl and young boy in the world today, to see that they can, if they study, if they are prepared, they can do anything they want. That's the thing that we want to show with the conversation with Dame Froila today. 10 a.m., please.
And it'll be online, so people can see it from work and they can be able to tune in.
Yes, they can tune in. They can use the Facebook page of the OS, Organization of American States National Office in Belize, Facebook page, or they can turn to Zoom as you are publicizing here in the screen, on the screen.
You know, as you talk about hearing from the community and working along, I'm interested to know some of what on outside of work maybe, what are some of the things that you've possibly grown and enjoyed about Belize and speaking with members of the community?
After 8 months in Belize, without being able to cross a border because I need authorization to leave the country, I had the opportunity to go everywhere. And let me say something, that's incredible how Belize has different places with different communities talking. And I can talk about the Mennonites, I can talk about the archaeological sites, Lamanai in the north, Chinautunich. I mean, culturally, and it is very important. And socially it's very important because you can meet different people. Yes, I understand that in some areas, they need more development. In some other areas, they need more protection of the environment. In some other areas, they need better education. And in many areas in Belize, we need a better health. I mean, we need to bring here more doctors. We need to be able to provide to Belizean society universal health. This is a challenge, not just for Belize. I understand that this is a challenge everywhere in the Americas. If you go to the United States, you have to pay for a private doctor. It will be very expensive. A lot of people in the United States don't have health insurance, and a lot of people suffer. Maybe they are in a worse situation than the Belizeans. But let's not to forget that in Belize, we need better health too. I mean, you are doing a great job with the vaccination. You are doing a great job with publicizing issues of, as I said, about masks, about how to face the problem of the pandemic. But we need to be prepared, better prepared to serve the people with better health services. This is something of the things. You asked me, what you heard from the community? Yes, this is one of the main issues that I heard from the community. I understand that the government and Minister Shabat is doing a lot of work in order to provide better health services. I understand that the Pan American Health Organization is very active in Belize. I mean, Dr. Jack, the representative in here, is very active. I understand that some other countries are contributing. I just heard you saying that the United States donated enough vaccines for the whole whole country. For the whole country. However, we still need to have better doctors in here. We have to find a way to keep the doctors in here. They go to Jamaica and they stay there. They go to the United States to have their classes to study, and they stay there. That's about time for them to bring back the brains that will make this country better.
And under the scholarship program, does it allow for persons to be trained in the medical field?
Some of them, yes.
Okay.
Very few for now.
Yeah.
We are doing an effort to have more. This is a very expensive universities usually. And that's more difficult for scholarships. But yes, we are trying to have some, and we are trying to do more. That's not only medical issues, and that's not only medical classes, but we need more people with STEM, I mean technical people, not just medicine, but engineers, I mean technology areas. We need to be able to bring back to Belize the brains, the Belizean brains, that are in the diaspora right now. They have to come back. That's about time for Belize to congregate the best brains and to better serve the community.
Now, earlier when you were speaking about some of your areas of passion, you were saying, how important the idea is to have a human rights focus. Any plans in being able to work along with agencies, improve upon human rights education in the country? How do you see yourself fitting in there?
Human rights is very important for the OAS. In fact, one of the main slogans, if I may say so, of Secretary General Almagro is to provide more rights for more peoples. I mean, we are not just talking about the human rights of the American Convention of Human Rights of 1948. Remember that the American Convention precedes the UN Convention on Human Rights. Well, the Western Hemisphere has a long tradition of fighting for human rights. Now we are pushing not only the tradition on human rights, but more rights for more people, rights for transgenders, rights for people that have special needs, new rights. But how to promote there? First of all, one of the very important things is to be able to train people on human rights. I mean, police needs to be trained. You don't learn by yourself on the fly. You have to be trained. I mean, the US provides this kind of training for police, for public safety personnel. Not only train, but promote human rights. At the same time, working together with the NGOs, working together with the civil society, in order to be sure that we are watching not just the government, but watching how the society is promoting human rights, is going through this process of affirmation of human rights. We are happy that Belize has contributed in indigenous rights, in many of the human rights, has contributed in acting together with the multilateral agencies, and including the OAS, the Inter-American Commission of Human Rights, and the Inter-American Court of Human Rights. We are happy that the government has this decision of follow-up in this multilateral process. Human rights is not just talking about rights, but it's talking about wellness, a good life, and to be able to have a safe life, not to be afraid of living. I mean, yes, the OAS has the commitment. The Commission of Human Rights and the Court of Human Rights are very active in the whole hemisphere. And in fact, we are living better times than we used to live. I mean, if you think that the Western Hemisphere had several dictatorships, my country went through dictatorship for 20 years. Argentina, Peru, many other countries, big countries in the Americas, had this problem with the military dictatorships. You never had this in here. I mean, we are talking about a different level of problems, We live in an open society in Belize. The efforts of Belize for open government, the efforts of the government of Belize to respect the citizenship, to respect the human rights, shows that we are in a different level. We are in a different league. We are not talking about a country where human rights is a big problem. In fact, we have some examples in the Central America, and we have some examples in the America nowadays, where you have some much bigger problems for democracy and for human rights than we have here in Belize. Again, we are in a country where open government, not just open government, but the participation of civil society shows that you can be happy to live in a country where human rights are respected.
All right. So today we have the dialogue taking place with the Governor General, and Assistant Secretary General Nesta Mendez will also be participating in that. That happens at 10 a.m. And what else is on the horizon that you can tell us about as we close off? Oh,
look, the West has plans for Belize, as has plans for the Americas. However, as I said at the beginning, we are facilitators. We have to listen to see what Belize really needs, not just the government, the communities. I mean, the citizenship, but also how we are going to get rid of this pandemic. This is the main issue today. How we are going to be able to face a totally different world. I can cross the border. I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about the Belizeans in general. I mean, this is a different world. And schools, how about schools? How you can put the schools back to work? How you can put the students back? I don't want to see students being targeted by organized crime. That's easy when you have people, kids with 15, 16, 17 years old, maybe younger than that, doing nothing the whole day. This is a big issue, a big problem. I mean, as a part of the OS, I would love to be able to act as facilitator for Belize to open the schools in a way that's safe, safe for the teachers, safe for the kids, safe for the families. I mean, but you have to find a solution for that. I understand that the government is planning to open very soon the schools, not only presential, but also online, some online, some. We have to learn how to do that. The OS has trainers, has people that's been working on online services. In fact, we have a project with resources from Spain called Pro Futuro. And we have been discussing with the government, with the Minister of Education in here, about bringing the resources of Pro Futuro. And Pro Futuro is a project that the OS has in Jamaica and some other countries in the Americas, and in some other countries of the world, not managed by the OS. But that's an opportunity to bring to students online resources. I mean, servers that can have all the curricula of the country, and the teachers will be able to access, to grade the students. I mean, a totally online system of education. But this is something that we are learning on the fly. We are also learning. We can share experience from other countries, but we are all in the same boat. We are all learning on the fly, but we have to find a solution. That is not fair with our youth. That's not fair with our kids, that this generation is going to be marked forever. Nobody can have a kid 1, 2 years out of school. There is no family that can accept this as normal. This is not a new normal. We have to find a new normal. A new normal, maybe using masks, maybe with a part of online studies, but we have to find a solution that put our kids back in school. And I'm sure that if the government needs, the OS is going to be committed to act as facilitators, to provide services, training, I mean, everything we can to have a new normal that's acceptable for the students, for the communities, for the kids.
All right. I'm sure the education counterparts who heard that just now, and they'll contact you today.
That's excellent.
But Luis, this has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for joining us and speaking so passionately about the work that has been ongoing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to you both for the opportunity to be here. It is a pleasure to me. And please think that the OS office is your house. The OS office is here to facilitate.
All right.
Thank you to all Belizeans.
And remember to stay safe.
Be safe, not only us, but everybody here, your audience. Please be safe. Use masks, vaccinate, please. Thank you very much.
All right. And following up on the concept of children in this country and talking about their rights, we are going to be focusing our next segment on the upcoming National Children's Parliament, an opportunity for Belizean children to have a voice in the House of Representatives. Your child may be interested. We'll tell you how to apply after the break.
This COVID update was brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service. Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor, and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Smart continues to expand its internet coverage countrywide to help you live a smarter life.
Our villagers are very happy. They are pleased to know that Smart went the extra mile to put a tower in our village so that our villagers can get live stream on their TVs and they can get their kids doing their online classes. I want to say to Smart, thank you for making it possible for us to get internet in Gardenia village. We really do appreciate it.
Smart continues to take the internet and mobile services to communities across Belize. Now save even more when you bundle your Smart broadband with Smart mobile services. Smart, bringing people together.
I feel honored. Truthfully, like I said, as a teacher, I feel that this is my highlight for the month, I guess. A beautiful way to start the month. To be among students who are aspiring to be someone. Today, we trust in you. We believe in you. Because to have been chosen out of the 350 students, there is a spark in you that we saw, that we believe in. Now it's up to you to go out there and let that spark illuminate the world. We need that in Belize, and we at Social Security are depending on you to bring that light.
And I got vaccinated to protect myself, my family, my patients, and my community.
Good morning, Nurse Ines here. I got my vaccine because I want to protect my family, especially my patients and everybody around me, everybody I come in contact with.
Mi nombre es Miss Chinchilla. Me vacuné porque quiero proteger mis familias y mis pacientes.
I'm Dr. Nunes, internist at Sororina Hospital, and I got vaccinated to protect myself, my staff, and my patients.
Soy el doctor Eduardo García. He trabajado 22 años en Belice y yo me puse la vacuna del COVID por la sencilla razón de protegerme a mí mismo, proteger a mi familia y proteger al país de Belice, porque es importante pensar en Belice.
And we're back. And if you're joining us right now, we are getting our second conversation for this morning started. And we're shifting gears a bit, and we are talking all about the National Children's Parliament 2021. Joining us to shed some more light on this topic, we have Ava Sosa, who is the Communications, Education and Information Officer from the National Committee for Families and Children. Good morning.
Good morning.
We also have Chris Miller, who is a Youth Empowerment Officer with the PYS. Good morning.
Good morning.
And joining us via Zoom, we have Adriana Medina, who was a 2019 parliamentarian. Morning.
Morning.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. This is a really interesting topic to talk about. So why don't we start by just giving our viewers just a little bit of a background on what exactly the National Children's Parliament is and how it got started.
Well, back in 2019, we had a National Children's Parliament. By we, I mean the National Committee for Families and Children, along with the Special Envoy's Office, Restore Belize, the Ministry of Local Government. There's a whole group of agencies, departments that work with children. And as you know, for us, our Bible is the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Article 12 of the CRC speaks to a children's right to participate and to express themselves. And so the National Children's Parliament is the perfect opportunity for young people to speak out on issues that affect them and speak out in front of policymakers, sharing their views on how the policies being made have affected them, looking at the gaps that they see. And the experience back in 2019 showed that young people really had a lot to say. Some of it not particularly pleasant to listen to, but overall they shared their views. At that time they spoke on the issue of safety, the issue of health, the issue of education, all very important topics, very important issues when it comes to our young people. So basically that's the background of the National Children's Parliament, and we're back at it once again.
You know, it was such a great opportunity to hear the young people voice their opinions on all national issues. And, you know, they came in with some hard truths, I have to say that much. Not pleasant for everyone to hear, especially the decision makers, but key in being able to tap into what they're thinking, feeling, and experiencing. And so, Adriana, you were one of those people in those seats who made your presentation. It was a little, almost 2 years ago. Tell us a bit about what you have gained from that experience. You're on mute.
It was just amazing, and it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that I'll never forget. I met so many friends, like so many people who share similar and different views, you know, on aspects of the children of Belize, like education, health, safety, and I learned a lot about, you know, the etiquette of the parliament, how to speak to, how we should speak to one another and address each other, the procedures. And now when I watch a meeting, a parliament meeting, I can see if they're following it and if they're doing it correctly, which is interesting. And also I had the opportunity to meet the person that I represented with, Honorable Orlando Habet. I met with him, had a chat with him on the education aspect of Cairo Northeast, and he gave me some advice and some good pointers. So when I represented in the House, I felt ready, and I felt it was an amazing feeling. And so, like, you know, it's a right, as Article 12 of the Children's Rights of a Child says, you have the right to express your opinion and for adults to listen and take it seriously. And so I think that I was just very lucky and I feel very important in a way, and very, it just feels so amazing that I was a part of that. And I would just like to say, like, if you want to go and join the parliament, it's gonna be an experience you're never gonna forget. It's amazing, and it's your right. So all of it was just from meeting friends to learning the procedures. It was just an honorable experience.
That is such an interesting spin-off that I didn't think of, that you now can monitor House meetings knowing exactly who's adhering to the proper protocols and who's not. But the core issue, of course, is looking at the opportunity to use and have a voice. Just one more thing, Adriana, in looking at meeting other young people from across the country who were as outspoken as you were. What was that like?
It was amazing, honestly. I met some amazing people. I met some good friends. Like, I still keep in contact with a lot of them. And the amount of girls that went in, the amount of females that were in the parliament was majority. So that was quite interesting. And I met a lot of friends that I now message on Instagram and all of those. And so they were just so outspoken, and they surprised me as well. I kind of felt intimidated when I just got there because they were all so like just very confident in what they had to say, and they had a lot to say. And so I met some amazing people that I'm never gonna forget, and it was just an amazing experience.
Nice.
And what is it like when you hear that sort of feedback and experience from one of the participants? What is it like?
For us, it is what we're looking for. When we start out, as Adriana said, you have children with varying degrees of confidence in terms of they want to be a part of it, but they're not sure that they would be able to stand up in front of everybody and share. But a part of the training that they receive leading up to the parliament deals with that, deals with presentation, it dealt with research. She talked about knowing the procedures. We worked very closely with the speaker and the clerk of the National Assembly and his office. They provided information for them in terms of that. They got training in debating skills, and so they were prepared leading after they were selected. They were prepared leading up to the day of the parliament. And as one of the participants shared with me, he said, it was different when he was preparing. He said when he went into the actual house and had to do his presentation, he was a bit intimidated, and especially when he saw the ministers and the area representatives who showed up.
Yeah, who were in the gallery watching on. Yeah. All right. But of course, for you, Chris, I guess hearing from Adriana and even perhaps reflecting on the presentations made in 2019, as a youth empowerment officer with the Department of Youth Services, you're not surprised that young people have so much to say?
No, I'm not. We hear this every week, every day in our office, working with young people.
Yeah.
They have a lot to offer. They have a lot to say. They're just trying to find the perfect platform or channels to make them be heard. So it wasn't nothing new, but it's still like to hear it. It's a good thing to hear.
Yeah. So we're preparing for the 2021 Parliament now.
Yes, we are.
Which means young people from across Belize who have been burning to get their voice heard now have an opportunity to participate.
Yes, they do. And the application forms are out. They're online. I also know that for rural communities as well, the Ministry of Local Government have printed copies that they can pick up. So they can visit the different Facebook pages, the applications online, and Chris, maybe you could talk a little bit more about that whole application process.
So the application,
how do you know if you're eligible?
Yeah, the application is online on the Children Parliament page on NCFC website. The age range is 13 to 17. Yeah, and it's open for the entire month of this month. Yeah.
I was going to ask Adriana, what would you say to somebody who might be interested in participating?
Do it because it's something I'll never forget. It was so fun. That's I found it really fun because um, the way they taught us, it was very fun meeting new people. And we had when I remember when we had debating lessons, they gave us a topic, and we spent almost like the entire like evening to night debating on that topic, and it was so heated. It got so heated, like everyone was into it, so into it. We made so many like amazing experiences. It's an amazing experience, and to be in the house, it was intimidating. I agree with the parliamentarian that told that to miss the room here, but it was an amazing feeling though, and to be able to express my views on the education aspect, which I focused more on, and I was very passionate about and still am, was amazing for me because I had those things running through my mind for so long, and I never had a chance to open up and say it to the entire country. So that was amazing. And so if you are burning to say something here, if you have some kind of something inside you that you were thinking when you watch a house meeting, or a friend who has been through something and you want to speak about it, sign up and speak about it, because no one's gonna know unless you open your mouth, and it is your right. So yeah.
Now, Adriana talks about a focus on education. How did the parliamentarians decide on what topic they'd be focusing on?
I could go back,
Yeah.
Okay, back in 2019, what we did was use the U report to determine what are the topics that the young people wanted to focus on or thought would be of utmost importance to them. And so those were the three top responses that we received. I know that Chris has been working with a couple of the past parliamentarians looking at the structure of the debate, how is it that we want to approach it. And so he has been in contact with them, because what we found out back in 2019, for us it was like a learning experience. And so we looked at lessons learned during that, and how do we improve on it this time around. And so we have a number of the young people who were past parliamentarians engaged in this entire process to ensure that we enhance what we put out there this time around.
And what were the lessons learned?
Well, I use my experience because in the same year, 2019, I was lucky enough to be in a regional parliament in Trinidad. So I brought the way that they set it up regionally, what they do, and I try to show it to everybody, show it to the parliamentarians, and to see if any parts of that would make our one here a little bit better or advance it here.
So let me ask you the question that the critics normally have, that somebody must be giving these children a script as to what to say, because they don't really think like that.
No. We was talking about this a while ago.
Don't you normally hear that after?
We are solely here.
We
are solely here to help with structure. Nothing else. We don't pick the topic. They are the one who pick the topic. They wrote and write what they want to. We are solely here to make sure it's structured correctly. That's all.
We're there as a guide.
Yeah.
One of the things we try not to do is to put words in their mouths. And if you go by like we heard all the comments in terms of, these children could never have come up with such a thing, or how would they know about such a thing, unless they were guided. But we know differently, because we are the ones who sat down with them. We are the ones who went over, listened to them and all that during that time of training. So we knew at the time, this is what some of them, these are their thoughts. And that is what we want, for young people's voices to be heard. And as Adriana mentioned, one of the key things last time around was that we had the participation of members of the House. So some of them were very engaged with the young person who would represent them. We had the then Prime Minister who met with the young lady who would be Prime Minister in the House.
Yeah.
We also had the leader of the opposition at the time who met with the young man. And so they had, again, that's one of the benefits, as has been said. There are a number of benefits to being a part of the Parliament.
Yeah. Adriana, did you have people ask you that question?
Yes, I saw a lot of people saying that it was a script or something like that, and I found it so funny because I worked so hard on my pointers, and I worked so hard on like finding what I want to say and doing my research. So it kind of hurt my feelings because I said what I wanted up there, and the way you were asking earlier, how we chose education or health or safety, they actually asked me like, what do you want to talk about? And I said education because that's what I am very passionate about and I have a lot to say about. And they were like, okay, sure, you can do education. And so I went ahead, I did my research, and I met with, as I said, Honorable Orlando Habet, and I said what I wanted to say that day, and I saw some people on the upper part of the Parliament smiling down and were like, oh, I didn't know that she was gonna say this. I saw some of our the committee members that were in charge of us were like, oh, she said that. So it was, so you know, we expressed ourselves fully up there, and so it hurt my feelings when people were saying that it was a script.
Well, thank you for saying that out loud, and hopefully that means the new parliamentarians will be given the credit for the thoughts and opinions that they're more than capable of being able to shape. You know, this has a larger implication than just, you know, seeing young people present on national issues in the House. What's the bigger gain here?
Well, what we found out, Marlene, is from the young people who were engaged the last time, a lot of them, they have kept engaged in terms of, one of the things that they learned is that you don't necessarily have to be an elected leader to make a difference in your community. And so that's one of the things that we found out, checking up with some of the young parliamentarians, is that they continued that drive that they had, and they have been making a difference. They have been trying to see how they can have an impact. Of course, we would want it to be where they look at, the policymakers look at, these are some of the things that these young people are saying. Maybe we need to become more engaged in certain areas, and to have them make that conscious decision that, look, these are issues, this is how we need to approach certain things. And when you engage them and find out what it is that they're saying, then it makes it a little bit easier because you don't have all the answers. And so the more you listen, the more you learn, and the easier it is. So we're hoping that that's one of the side effects of this.
It's also a great check-in because where policies and plans may be being made with the best intention in mind, you hear from the recipients directly, or young people, as to how they feel about it.
Yeah.
Chris, tell us about what it's like being in the shoe, you know, whether you're going to be serving up some realities that people don't always want to hear.
Well, like I said, I guess it's best for the children, for the kids to say how they feel. I mean, we can't fix the problem if we don't know what it is. We can't expect that what we are doing are right, because like Ms. Alva said, we don't know everything. When I'm at work and we're doing anything, we may do it with the best intention, but they are the one who is going through the situation. They know more likely what's the effect it has on them. So it might be harsh, but it could make us better. It's the things to make us better and improve on.
Now, the Parliament itself is representative of children countrywide. So, you know, is there perhaps, are you going to try to ensure that all districts are included? What's the plan for gender and district equality, I should say?
We're definitely doing that in terms of the recruitment process. As we said, the application form is out. It will be up until the 31st of this month. But we're also doing follow-ups because one of the things we noticed back in 2019 is that we did not have many applications from the northern districts. So we want to change that. So we're actually calling the high schools, speaking to influential people in those areas to encourage young people to be a part of this process. So we're taking a more this is why I'm telling you, when you look at lessons learned, you see how we go forward. So that's one of the things that we learned, that we need to do that one-on-one to ensure that we get the kind of participation that we're looking for right across the country. Because, you know, of course we have a lot of applicants, but a lot from
the urban areas, yeah.
And so we have to spread it out a bit.
And you provide training, so I don't have to feel, or the parent might say, well, I don't know if you're ready for going at a house to talk yet.
So between, after the, this month, August was finished, from September to November, there will be a host of trainings that you go through: debating skills, public speaking,
research,
how the standing orders, you learn the standing orders, everything. This year we're going to try to do a hybrid where we do the training, where we do some online and in groups of the areas. So like the people in Corozal will get together, and Corozal Orange Rock will be in person. We're trying to work that out, but it will be a hybrid situation where we do some online and some in person in the areas, in little groups.
And how has the application process been going so far?
Well, it has been going great. But like I said, for us, we want as many young people to become engaged as possible. And so, hence, our parents, we've been doing the media rounds to ensure that everybody hears about the National Children's Parliament and check out the application form. I know some people say take a little bit of time, but just go through it. If you need help, call the office and we can guide you.
Well, we are just about running out of time for our segment, so we do want to say thank you for coming in and joining us and shedding some light for some on this topic. It's a great initiative, and we certainly hope that the 2021 edition will be very successful and will continue.
Thank you.
You were there for the last kickoff.
Yes, we were in Belmopan.
We did the show live from Belmopan on the day of the Parliament. It was, and the excitement of those young parliamentarians before they went into the House, that was fantastic. So the actual Parliament date will be?
November 20.
All right. International Children's Day.
Right.
And what a way to kick it off. We wish you the best of luck in the recruitment and training process, and we look forward to seeing those presentations in the House of Representatives. Adriana, you keep on using that voice, and thank you so much for telling us about your experience.
Thank you.
All right. All right, thank you. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Super Furia Band to launch their brand new music video called
Gimme the Broke Down.
I mean, you gotta sing it a little bit.
I know, well, I was trying to remember and that's the thing, I was trying to remember the name. You put me on the spot. So, but we're going to be hearing that after the break, and we'll be right back.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Dr. Wright, and I got vaccinated to protect myself, my family, my patients, and my community.
Good morning,
there's happiness here. I got my vaccine because I want to protect my family, especially my patients and everybody around me, everybody I come in contact with.
Mi nombre es Luis Chinchilla. Me vacuné porque quiero proteger mis familias y mis pacientes.
I'm Dr. Nunes, internist at Sorrentino Hospital, and I got vaccinated to protect myself, my staff, and my patients.
Soy el doctor Eduardo García. He trabajado 22 años en Belice y yo me puse la vacuna del COVID por la sencilla razón de protegerme a mí mismo, proteger a mi familia y proteger al país de Belice, porque es importante pensar en Belice.
Hey son, how was your first day at sixth form?
Really cool. It was great to see my friends, and I really love my teachers.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm sorry I wasn't there for your first day, but I'll be back from Corozal next week.
It's okay, Dad. I can't wait to see you. Oh, and please remember, I still have some books I need to purchase.
Ah, yes. Let me e-cash you that right now. Money has been sent. I add a little extra cash just for you.
Whoa, Dad. Thanks. Got it.
You're welcome, sir.
Download the eCash app today and take your first step into a cashless lifestyle. For more information, visit www.e-cash.com or contact us via WhatsApp at 613-0257. eCash, the future is here.
Bundle the fastest, most reliable, unlimited broadband in Belize with your prepaid or postpaid mobile plan or Netflix. You can bundle your broadband with your prepaid and enjoy 50% off all national calls, plus get SMS and data. Paid plans? Then bundle with any speed and pay only $25 extra monthly to enjoy unlimited smart-to-smart calls, plus 500 minutes, plus 6,300 megabytes of data. Stream unlimited HD movies and TV shows with our broadband, plus the Netflix add-on for only $30 monthly, and enjoy streaming on your laptop, TV, phone, or tablet. Visit a smart showroom near you to sign up or upgrade to the bundle that's right for you. Smart, bringing people together.
And we're back. And if you're joining us right now, we're getting our third and final conversation for this morning started. And we are joined by members of the Super Furia band. So we've joined by Roxana Anderson and Francisco Alcocer. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Belize. Muy buenos dias.
Right, good
Sound like the
morning.
concert about to start.
Thanks for joining us. We definitely appreciate you coming in. How are you guys doing? Give us a quick update on what's been going on at Super Furia.
Well, Super Furia, pandemic came and paused all the music industry. Everyone in the music industry, right? So got affected. So we stayed there thinking, what can we do? Because we're home, we don't have anything to do. So my dad was the one who's like, let's start a virtual concert, and it started last year in March 2020. And it was in all the mid when, there's nothing happening at that time. So it gives a little peace and tranquility to our fans at home, so that they can enjoy with their family, and it also gives us a little peace.
Give us a little peace,
Right,
definitely.
because they were losing their mind as well.
Yes, sure.
Well, it was interesting how you all started that, because you were just playing for yourselves first, and then you started to go live.
Yes, that's exactly. We my dad and I, we would do on my Facebook page, we would do a little a cappella and stuff.
Right.
And then the band is like, hey, but we also want, you know, to be in it. It's something that we do out of love right now, you know, because obviously income-wise, we're not getting anything from that. We're just doing it because, you know, because we love our fans and we love the music. You know,
Right, that's the passion of the music.
It makes you feel good to still set up everything every Sunday
Oh,
for your
yes.
jam session.
Yes, it got us, you know, occupied, and that's a nice thing, you know, for us who are doing something, and especially when we see the people, they're enjoying it at home. They send us
comments.
They send us some little video clips, yes, so that make us very, very
we
enjoyable.
even get some ceviches and stuff out there, you know,
What?
delivered. Yes.
So people are paying food now.
And it's always welcome. It's always welcome.
Right.
And of course, in the midst of all that, you've also been creating new music, which is kind of what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this is it's so exciting for me. I don't even know what the words when I'm coming out right now. You know, because I mean, I felt so passionate writing this song along with my father and I. You know, we wrote the song, and each one of the musicians, they chip in and they give us the ideas, and one came melody, rhythm, you know, the drums and everything, and then bam, we got the Brockdong song. And for Super Furia, you know, we're all about creating music and in a diverse, you know, because we have cumbias, we have soca's, we have ballads, we have a little bit of everything. But now we're doing a Brockdong song, you know, and it's what I can't say it's one of my faves, but I will say it's one of my faves.
They're all your favorite. But it's so perfect for September too, because this is the time where we want to hear some good Brockdong.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
You want to go shake a little bit, you know?
Tell us from your end though, just, you know, what the past year has been like, you know, shifting to your backyard concert where you're streaming out to the world. It's not what you're used to and the pace that you used to have.
No, it was difficult because it's a big change, you know, change the whole thing. But what helped us, that the same, we have a little experience, like for example, when you invite us, when nobody's around, but we got to do like, you know, like thousands of people are watching us.
So all the TV performance have
right. So those experience help us in the virtual show. So they don't have nobody. But you see Roxy, you see my musician, they're playing, and wow, you know, that helps us.
I love that. Yeah. And so in looking at the feedback that you've gotten so far and, you know, moving forward, I know, Roxy, one of the things last year you had to overcome your own bout with COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, so we try to do the virtual as well. You know, we take precautionary measures. You know, masks are used, distance. We have hand sanitizers in the set, you know, before coming in, you have to sanitize your hands. And, you know, we try to take all the precautionary measures. And as you know that the band members consist of mostly family members.
Yes.
Right,
so that's what...
so it's your little bubble.
Yes, it's our little bubble, yes.
Yes.
That's a very energetic and musical bubble.
Right.
Which gets popped every time.
So before our show, you know, we have our gate, like, you know, padlock, you know, because it's only the
because people try come.
Oh yes.
If you see on the street on the road, a lot of people, their vehicles and everyone, they're enjoying it, you know.
Well, soon we'll have to put you in the back of a truck and just drive you around then. All right, let's get more into Gimme the Brockdong, right?
Yes.
So, venturing into a Brockdong piece, you also did a music video for it as well.
Yes, and you know, it takes time. Everything takes time. So, you know, every evening after work, I would me and my dad, we would sit down, write the songs, and we start playing around with the beat because we didn't know yet what kind of beat we would do this, you know. And I'm like, my dad is like, let's do a Brockton. We need cultural music right now. And I'm like, Dad, let's do it. And that's how we wrote the Gimme the Brockton, and it's a really, really catchy tune. And it's about, you know, our grandparents, and I won't say our grandfather used to be Romeo's, but you know that. Well, I'm talking about my own grandfather as well. So, you know, all of that, you know, so, and grandma is telling grandpa, you know, you need to start to behave, like, you know, stop behaving like a young boy. You know?
Wait, who start these lyrics first?
Well, I would say to both of us, we get into the groove, but I'm not gonna say my dad is a Romeo, right? That's not. So he did not influence me on that song. Mom, no.
That's why I'm trying to give you a chance for disclaimer.
I know. I'm trying to give. Oh man, but it was fun writing the song too as well. You know, I'm like, Dad, and we gotta picture it. We gotta picture, you know, a grandma talking to what would. A grandma tell the grandfather, and my dad is like, yeah, but then the music came and they started to argue. So the Brockton is like we would say it's a peacemaker right there.
The peacemaker, the music.
The music is a peacemaker.
And making a video in these times?
Very, very, very difficult. I mean, and also you are, you know, just limited. To different sceneries and even us as the band, you know, we had sceneries mostly that I was doing solo and just not having the crowd and everything. So it was difficult. It's not the same as usual. You know, when we would shoot a video, we would have people, the audiences dancing in the background, but we had none of those. But we know that you guys will be dancing right behind your television.
Well, we didn't have people dancing because it's changed, but now they got me dancing.
You're dancing? No.
Yes.
Dancing.
Yes.
Now I would be on the keyboard just playing and
well, you usually do leave both sides, know that much.
Yeah, but this time he did the Brockton move. Oh, Mark. One spell I was wondering.
You know I have to see this in So who teach you how to do the Brockton dance?
Well, it's like music is something like just come in you feel the music, you know, then like I said, it's a changing thing. So I gotta move like dance, like, you know, it's like people are dancing, you know, right?
And one time I was scared. I'm like, are you sure my dad is gonna get up from there? Hoping he's. But that would be part of the show too, as well.
I'm sure you're getting all of the viewers really excited.
I know. Okay, so we know what dance moves he pull when he want to end a fight with mommy, right? Because then they'll say exactly like Roxy, are you okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, this is great. Well, how does it feel to be releasing new music at this time? Especially music video.
It feels more than a privilege, and especially because our fans are asking to as well. Our fans are like, is there anything new? And it's hard not to say, you know, it's really difficult times. But, you know, because we love what we do and because we love you all, you know, we put extra effort and extra love into this music video. And my dad and I would say that's how we have a special bond, you know, as father and daughter. Because we've been traveling I've been singing from age 13. I'm not gonna say my age, but it's more than 20 plus years singing. So, it just feels normal. This is what feels normal to us. And I think we're trying to go back something to what we knew what's normal, you know, and that's what we feel that we are at home when we are writing music and doing what we love the most.
And September is usually a time where you guys are busy.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, but at the same time, talking about September is a time to remember that Super Furia has already made
some nice
There you go. Independence T-shirt.
Right. We're having.
And it has a logo
All
at the back.
Super Furia.
So that's what you wear for concert on Sundays. People can get their shirts.
Yes, definitely. They could get this. We do this to help us. When you buy a shirt, you know, you are contributing to the band Super Furia. Yeah, and that's the way we, you know. And at the same time, we want to still have the September feeling. Yes, you guys, September is right here. It's right in the so we still got to have the September feeling. And so the breakdown is the right time for the September. So you could rock it.
Wait, how you rock it?
I need a little rhythm, but without the rhythm.
Let's see.
Rock.
Yeah. That's previous.
See, he not even need to hear the music in the background. I love it. You know, I am always amazed at what you guys do, because I think while I hear your passion for music, I know you have been doing this for so long.
Right.
We've talked about your history the last time as well.
Right, yes.
And now, you know, just to be able to do it as a family, it's a bonding experience too.
It is. It's more than I would say. You live, you know, growing up we live together. On the weekends we are together. So it's like 24 hours a day we are together. We sleep together. So it's a, you know, traveling. We get to sleep with each other, eat with each other, do everything with each other, and we know each other so good. Like I would know, okay, you know, my brother really is not enjoying something, or not, we can get each other.
Right.
And when we're playing the music, even I just signal my brother with my eyes, and he's like, okay, you want this rhythm to change, or you know, and I think that's all about what it's more than music, it's family love, you know what I mean?
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right. Well, since you have teased us with the moves, it's time for us to see this video, right?
Yeah.
This is the world premiere.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So you can look right into this camera over here and premiere that Gimme the Breakdown.
All right, guys. Well, this is the moment that you guys have been waiting for, and this is Gimme the Breakdown.
Enjoy.
When Granny made wap, wapangalang, chichi wap, wapangalang, chichi wap, wapangalang. Hold your back and wapangalang, bend your knees and wapangalang, hold your waist and wapangalang, put your hands up, wapangalang. Give me the rock music. I like it. Give me the rock music. Shake it up. Give me the rock music. Put your hands up. Give me the rock music. Rock it down. Rock music. Rock music. Give me the rock music. I like it. Give me the rock music. Shake it up. Give me the rock music. Put your hands up. Give me the rock music. Rock it down. Rock music. Rock music. Rock the music. Rock the music. Rock the music. Rock the music.
There you have it. All right, that whole song and the music video looks like it was so much fun to make.
That was a party by itself for just making that video.
Yeah.
And we saw the famous moves.
You know, now that you start dance, you have to dance even after COVID.
Oh yes, definitely. I gotta do that.
And your brothers too.
Yeah, I know my brothers, and especially my brothers. If you all know them, they dance behind their instrument. Now this time we got them to dance.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So officially, Gimme the Brock Down is out. It'll be on YouTube?
Yes. Super Furia Band YouTube and also on our Super Furia page. So guys, go ahead and share it and share the love so you can enjoy this nice Brock Down rhythm.
All right, and where can people get the t-shirts?
Well,
you can call the number.
Yeah, you can call the number. My number is 615-4845.
Okay.
Or go in the Super Furia page and
yes, you guys can chat us and let us know if you want a t-shirt, and we can ship it to you all and make sure you get it.
All right, and they can get it in time for September celebration.
Definitely.
All right, so we got the regular scheduled Sunday performance. Anything else coming up where we can see Super Furia?
Yes, we are going to be at
Sir Barry, as usual, the
Pelican Bash.
Pelican Bash. So, you know.
We're going to be featured in the 18th.
The 18th of September. Right.
And also catch us every Sunday at 5 o'clock.
And the virtual show.
All right. And you have anything 20th at night?
Well, we haven't planned that yet, but we definitely will have.
It'll have to be a big sleepover because there might still be a curfew, right?
I know. Definitely.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. This was, I mean, I agree with Gavin. I think you've watched, we're all watching the video, and it looks like so much fun. And I can imagine now, quite a few of those lines people on the quote from now on.
But congrats on this new song and the new video, guys. And thanks for coming in and sharing all about it.
Thank you for having us.
Inviting us. Thank you.
And thank you, Belize.
Thanks, Belize.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy and have a safe September to remember.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and take our final break. And when we come back, we'll have our wrap up. So stay tuned.
Bend your knees and wapangalang, hold your waist and wapangalang, put your hands up, wapangalang. Give me the rock music. I like it. Give me the rock music. Shake it up. Give me the rock music.
Is always with you, from live TV, sports, and on-demand titles. Choose your plan today. Plans start as low as $15 per month. My TV, entertainment, anytime, anywhere.
Why, Tony?
Boy, kid, what you going on, man?
I actually come see you because I need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups for my grocery shop because I run low.
Boy, I stopped importing that thing since April 15th, you know. And I just ran out of the last batch, must have been like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have anything? What you going?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make the customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
Imagine going through your entire day without the burden and risk of carrying cash on you. Belize's shift to digital wallets has begun with eCash. We can now skip the cash when collecting money or paying for our essentials, all while using a fast, easy, and secure platform. Simply add funds to your wallet via bank transfer or at an agent, and you're good to go. You will be able to make quick, easy payments simply by scanning QR codes. And best of all, it all happens just like that. Payments are as easy as clicking a link online or scanning a QR code. Download the eCash app from the Google Play and Apple App Store today and take your first step into a cashless lifestyle. The future is here with eCash. For more information, visit www.e-cash.com or contact us via WhatsApp at 613-0257 to find out more.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
And we're back.
Yep. And we're just getting our show wrapped up this morning, and we want to say thank you to all our guests. We started off with an update from the OAS, and we had Luis Coimbra, who is the representative to Belize, getting an update on all that of their work that they're doing. So we want to say thank you to him, as well as to our second guests from the National Committee for Families and Children, Department of Youth Services, and talking all about the National Children's Parliament.
That's right. And we also want to say thank you to Super Furia Band. We saw the official release of their brand new music video called Gimme the Brock Down. Yep. I gotta tell you, that one is gonna be stuck in my head all day long.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I'm still singing
it.
Yep,
I know it's in my head too. Just in time for September, of course, and they have debuted their new music video as well as their T-shirts. And you know, that was a fun music. It was a pretty fun and funny music video. So I'm sure you liked it if you saw it.
Today's show, I think, was just full with passion. You know, like there were very passionate conversations from talking about the work of the OAS to talking about children and their participation, the right to participate, and then definitely Roxy and her dad there just talking about their love for music. I mean, they have been performing since last year. They had Mother's Day concerts. They've done everything right in their backyard, just providing entertainment to people online throughout the pandemic, and now even a new music video as well, including dance moves.
Yeah,
right, Gavin?
That's why. No, I don't think I could do better than Francisco. So
I think so too. I think he pretty much stole the show with his dance moves, but great fun there. You can find it on YouTube. Show your support and tune into their concerts every Sunday.
Yes. But of course, that is all the time we have for today. So if you want to contact us, you can send us an email at oie@channel5belize.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BC and on Instagram at OIE Belize.
And remember to tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes.
Start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your heart open.
We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Belize.
I remember when Grandpa made it tell Granny, yeah, relax yourself. Nothing wrong that they love me, nothing wrong that they want me. I own but not cool. Suddenly, the argument stopped. Release was playing that song from north to south, east to west. Everyone enjoying that rock song. Give me the rock music. I like it. Give me the rock music. Shake it up. Give me the rock music. Put your hands up. Give me the rock music. Rock it on. Rock music. Rock music. Suddenly, the argument stopped. Release was playing that song from north to south, east to west. Everyone enjoying that rock song. Give me the rock music. I like it. Give me the rock music. Shake it up. Give me the rock music. Put your
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.